Do I have permission to record this conversation?
Yes.
First question. How would you describe me as a baby, toddler, or young child? What is one memory that stands out to you?
As a baby, you were always very quiet and observant. You liked to look around and watch what I was doing and watch what your sister was doing all the time. And then as a toddler, you started to follow Sam around and try to do the same things that she was doing. You loved to participate with her kitchen set, and you would help prepare fake meals with the food. We had plastic food that you would put on plates, and you would set tables with it and serve people. And you were very creative with some of your meal options. And then eventually you decided your creativity led to you wanting to open up a restaurant. And you designed a menu, and your restaurant was going to be called Banana Peel. And you put all your favorite foods on the menu. You had meatballs and pancakes and hot dogs and noodles because you thought everybody should eat the same food that you liked. And you had us go on a computer and you picked out pictures to put on your menu and wanted us to print it out so you could set the table with your menu. And your creativity for food also led you into the kitchen with me. You liked to come out there when I was baking or cooking, and you and your sister would take cakes and try to decorate them because you wanted to see whose cake was better and who would win if you had a contest. Also, you like to play a lot in the playroom with blocks and pipes, and you like to build forts and hide in there with blankets and pretend that you weren't home.
Okay. What was my favorite book as a young child? Why does this book stand out to you? Why do you think I like this book so much?
I can't think of a specific book that you liked, but you were always interested in the series called Who Would Win? It was a Scholastic book series, and you always wanted to get a new book every time we got the flyer from school that you could purchase a new book. You wanted to find out who would win, lion versus tiger, or shark versus whale. You always wanted to see who would win and why, because you were always interested in the facts that came along with each of the animals and their unique characteristics.
Okay. What is the meaning of my name and who am I named after?
Your first name, Dominic, started with your father because he wanted to have a son with a tough name. He initially wanted to name you Diesel, and I told him that I didn't think Diesel was a good first name. So he ended up naming you after Vin Diesel, who was a character in his favorite movie series, The Fast and the Furious. Vin Diesel's name in the movie was Dominic, and so Dad thought that that would be a good name for you. And your middle name, Thomas, is after your grandfather, my father.
Okay. What is one thing your parents or grandparents taught you that you have tried to instill in me?
My parents and grandparents have instilled our faith, the importance of our faith and going to church and being Christians. My father grew up always going to church, and he also instilled that on me as a child. I used to go to church with him all the time and volunteer, and I felt like that was an important aspect of our faith, and I also instilled that in you. We go to church as a family. You volunteer at church at their fish fries when you were younger. You've also volunteered at the church camps to counsel the children at Camp Virtue. So I just feel like being part of faith was important. And also family. We going to church as a family, but also just being a family. We were always there for each other. Our families didn't grow up with lots of wealth, but we did have lots of love. So we instilled the importance that you just don't need to be wealthy to be there for each other and support each other.
Okay. How have you helped me learn how to think?
I believe that you learn to think from all the educational opportunities that we provided you, beginning with when you were a baby. I read to you every day. We always had books around. We went to bookstores to buy books, and I loved reading to you and letting you pick out some of the stories that you wanted to hear. Also, we provided you with a Catholic education since birth, and I feel like that has given you the opportunity to excel at high-level classes and also have religion as part of your education. When you were little, we would sit at the table and we would do math worksheets, which your first grade teacher called fishbowl math, and we would go over and practice these worksheets over and over. We would do flashcards together. We took you on educational trips to museums so you could explore things at Children's Museum and build things and play with things. We took you on vacation so you had the opportunities to see different places in Florida and the beaches, and we just felt that education was important, and by giving you all this foundation, you were able to take these experiences and all that you've learned to help think on your own.
Okay. How have you prepared me for my future?
I feel like I prepared you for your future first by giving you the education that we just talked about, so you can use your intelligence and your brains to figure out what you want to do. I also think we prepared you for life in general. Sometimes you would try out for teams and you didn't make it. We let you fail, but we were also there to support you during your disappointments. You would come to us with questions, and we've always been there for guidance.
Okay. What is the most impactful thing from my childhood that made me who I am today?
Besides family and education, I feel that hockey has made a huge impact on your life and has influenced who you are today. Even though you probably won't play in the NHL, playing hockey for the last 8 years has taught you many lessons. You've learned how to celebrate a win, congratulate others, while also learning how to lose and realizing that you can't always win. You put so much time into working hard to improve on your skills to make wins happen more than losses. You took extra lessons. You always went to your practices. You never wanted to miss a practice. You learned how to be a good teammate and build friendships and bond with others over your love for hockey and your desire to win. You've learned how to listen and follow directions from many different coaches. Most of your coaches built you up, but unfortunately some coaches didn't treat you with the respect you deserve. You've grown and have become a better person because you know your worth and how important you are as a teammate. I've seen you get excited when you made a team, and I've seen you disappointed when you didn't make a team. But both of those experiences impacted you, and those are things you'll never forget. At one point, you experienced a devastating orthopedic diagnosis in your knees, and you were in a wheelchair for 2 months and unable to play hockey for the whole season. You could have given up on the sport, but watching your determination to come back stronger and faster than ever was a testimony to your resilience. I remember taking you to school in a wheelchair and taking you to games to watch your teammates play without you. It brought tears to my eyes, but the joy I feel every time I see you skate now makes up for those difficult days. Hockey has taught you how to manage your time. You have late night practices and games, but you always make sure your schoolwork is your first priority. You've been able to excel at both hockey and academics. I know that some will say hockey is just a sport, but for you it has impacted your life, and it has been your life. I know all of your hockey experience have shaped your personality and how you view life. It's even had an impact on my life, so I know it would definitely impact your life.
Okay.